to achieve any big goal in your life, to achieve any goal at all, you need three things. You need a strategy, you need state, and you need a story. Hey, Conor here at IESE Business School in Barcelona. And we've just witnessed the Olympics and the Paralympics. They've come to a close in Paris. And one thing that I've been reflecting a lot on is you watch the athletes in the Olympics and then the Paralympics come out just before their event, get ready for their event, participate in their event, and then the interviews where the press of the world sticks a camera underneath their chin and asks them questions after the event. An event that for many of them is the peak moment of their life. They've spent 20 years of their life preparing for these moments, and it might be in the case of the 100 meters final, 10 seconds. In the case of the marathon, 2 and a bit hours. But one of the things that I think Tony Robbins used to speak a lot about, that to achieve any big goal in your life, to achieve any goal at all, you need three things. You need a strategy, you need state, and you need a story. And strategy is your plan, state is your mindset, what places your mind in. And there are resourceful mindsets and not resourceful mindset. And story is, what are the stories you're telling yourself? What will setbacks mean to you? And that to achieve anything big, you need to gain control of these three things. Strategy. And I think an Olympic athlete, the person running the 100 meters is not the first person to do it. So to learn the strategy, the best thing that an athlete looks at is, what do previous gold medal winners do? What does their practice look like? What does their eating look like? So strategy for an Olympic athlete is look at what other successful people have done and try and copy it as much as possible. And for you, most of the things that we want to achieve, you're not the first human being to want to achieve it. If you want to climb Everest, I think there's about 10,000 people who've climbed Everest at this stage. And each of them has had a strategy. So the greatest way that you could go about finding a strategy is find someone else who's already done it or is doing it and take a look at their strategy. And very often what they say they're doing, what they actually do may not be the same. So pay attention more to what they're actually doing than what they say they're doing. So strategy is, you need a plan. And if that plan's been done before, all the better. The second is mental state, the state you're in. And there are highly resourceful states and there are highly unresourceful states. And each of us need to learn about ourselves enough to know what are the mechanisms by which I put myself in a good state. If I've got a class to teach here at IESE Business School and I just wake up in the morning and I'm feeling crap and I haven't slept too well, it's not going to go very well. I need to take control over the state of mind, over how I'm feeling the instant the class begins. And I have a whole series of recipes to put myself in a good state. When I was watching the Olympics or the Paralympics, so often, in particular in the swimming, when you see the athletes come out, you can see that they've got a routine. Often they're listening to music or they've got little notes. They're doing something just to remember what it is they want to feel, how they want to feel about this. And for me, putting ourselves in a state where we can be resourceful and open to what's coming is so important. And I think learning to control your state, the first step is just becoming aware of what state you're in. Becoming capable of stopping every so often, just go, how am I doing? What am I feeling? And learning what are the things. And in my case, music is a wonderful way of doing a state change. There's certain songs that if I put them on, I'm much more open to connect to someone. I'm much more open to empathy. And for teaching, there's songs that remind me of why I do what I do. So if you've got a strategy, you've got a plan, it's not enough. You need to put yourself regularly over and over at the critical moments in the mental state where you're actually going to be able to do the performance well. And the third thing is the story. What story you tell about yourself. And if the story that you tell about yourself is that you're always a failure and you don't do much things, every setback is going to be incredibly painful. If the story that you tell yourself is you're going to be open and curious, and no matter how much time this takes, you're going to learn what needs to be learned, you're going to overcome whatever needs to be overcome, but you're going to make this happen. If that's the story, that's the backtrack to all your pursuit of the goal, the downsides, the setbacks, the challenges, the dark days will be handleable. But if your story means that every little setback is incredibly painful personally for you, it's going to be very, very, very hard to stay the course. If an athlete has to win every single race, they're going to throw in the towel. I think even the gold medal winning Olympians have lost many, many, many races to get where they are today. And if they took every single loss as a painful sign of failure versus an opportunity to look back and see how they can do better the next time, they would have given up. So this idea of strategy, have a plan that you know others have been able to follow and get the results that you want. Second, state, how do you shift yourself into a mental state where you're resourceful, where you're going to be able to do well the things. And for me here at teaching at IESE, it's so important to get the right mental state when I begin. So I'm definitely here and present and open to what's going to happen. And the third, the story you tell yourself. If every setback becomes an enormous pain and you're worried about failing, I think that there's a very different story of someone who looks forward to winning versus someone who's afraid of losing. And I think the story that you're telling yourself in pursuit of your goals, are you afraid of losing, or are you curious about what it would feel like to win? These are two quite different stories you tell yourself about what setbacks mean, what people rejecting you mean. And I think it was Tony Robbins that said you need these three things strong and in place if you're going to achieve the goal: strategy, state, and story. So again, hope this reflection on a Tuesday is of help for you. Thank you to all of those over the long summer who reached out and said, hey, Conor, switch on the camera, make your videos, I've missed you. Thank you for your likes, your comments, your questions. It keeps me taking out the camera, sitting down, thinking, and sharing some of these thoughts. So strategy, state, story. Get yours aligned. You'll be amazed at what you can achieve. Have a good one.